I've been thinking, we have a show. It's a podcast. Did you know there's other types of podcasts out there?
Really? Did you know that there's some other types of podcasts out there?
I didn't. Thanks for letting me know. One such podcast show is called Evergreen in the Hidden Signal.
Whoa, what's it about?
It's a psychological sci-fi thriller from Hidden Signal, QCode's new podcast anthology series, and it follows 7 of the world's greatest minds who find themselves trapped in a subterranean biosphere as an asteroid destroys the surface of Earth.
Damn, that sounds crazy.
There's probably more about it that we should talk about that you should read now.
I think so. I think these 4 survivors are tasked with rebuilding society. And tensions rise as alliances form and fracture. But when Hannah, voiced by Lana Condor,
Shout out Lana,
discovers that Evergreen is malfunctioning, will she be able to convince the group to work together before the utopia that was meant to save them kills them?
No! Stuff that's supposed to save you isn't supposed to kill you. If I wanted to know more, I'd probably search Hidden Signal Evergreen wherever I'm listening and follow the show to never miss an episode.
Evergreen is a 9-episode psychological sci-fi thriller, baby. If you like sci-fi, if you like thrillers, if you want to go, ooh, what's going to happen next? Look up Hidden Signal Evergreen.
From QCode.
Great.
I am a surgeon! I am a surgeon!
That's the cold open.
There you go.
It is. I am a podcaster!
I'm a podcaster! Dr. Han!
I'm really excited that we've made our transition from YouTuber to content creator to influencer to now podcasters.
We've covered the whole gamut.
Podcasters. We've done it, baby. We're in the end game now.
Yeah. I just hope that what's next isn't what other YouTubers do, because that's a dark, steep slope.
I wonder, I feel like when you do the podcast, when you start the podcast, do you think people sort of think of it as like, this is where they retire?
Yeah.
Is it like creator retirement?
People are like, that's it. How many YouTubers have started a podcast, stopped YouTubing, and just started podding?
Every last one of them. But not who
not
we're going
us.
to talk about today. Not us, and not Sam Ryder of the UK.
Well, he's still on TikTok. He's doing well.
Is he? That's where he started, right? Was TikTok?
I don't fucking know. He just seemed to come out of nowhere. Welcome back, I guess. I don't know if people prefer if there's an intro or not. I'm one of those people that's like, yeah, get through your intro. Just shut the fuck up already and start talking about what you're going to talk about.
Exactly. Stop yammering on about your yammering.
Yeah, there's probably a pre-roll ad on this anyway, so we're just going to talk about Eurovision now, because that just happened. You said you were going to watch this one.
Yeah. Well, I thought about... Well, originally I was going to be touring and I was going to be there in May, but then I didn't. So now I'm not there.
That's true. I forgot about that.
How is it watched? Could I even watch it?
I don't know. We watch it on BBC on the iPlayer, so I'm sure you could VPN it or something like that, or watch it on YouTube, or someone's pirating it somewhere.
Yeah.
Just go to kick.com. I'm sure someone's illegally doing something there.
Exactly. For the people who... Basically everyone that's in the US.
Yeah.
Much, right? Because isn't Canada a part of it?
No, Australia are. But this is the first year where they opened up voting worldwide, so more than ever people could vote.
But yeah, North America isn't really a part of it. South America?
No, it's just Europe and Australia.
All right, well, never mind.
This is for the rest of the world.
Explain Eurovision. For those who don't know.
It's like, you know, when you're in school and you have a talent show where everyone gets up and does their thing? Mm-hmm. It's like that, except it's all of Europe and it's just music.
And Australia.
Yeah. They've been won over. Britain conquered them again. It's like, come on back, guys.
I thought there were more countries than just Europe. I mean, and Australia. Like, I thought Japan was a part of it. I thought that,
No.
like, oh.
It's Eurovision.
Is Ukraine a part of it?
Yeah, they're in Europe.
But with everything going on, like, were they a part of it?
Yeah, so they won last year. And then they were supposed to host it. Whoever wins hosts it. So they couldn't host it this year, obviously. So they deferred to the UK. I don't know why UK got it out of everybody. I guess because it hasn't been here in like 20 years. So they brought it back to the UK and had it in Liverpool. But it was the Ukraine that were doing it. But it didn't really feel very Ukraine-y. I was hoping that they would have way more of that. They showed like little bits of it in the snippets, and they had one presenter out of 4 was from the Ukraine. I feel like they could have had half and half or 3 and 1.
I feel like Eurovision, the way that it's presented and like the production value of it is like if American Idol was the Olympics. Like it feels very like Olympic style in the way that it's presented and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, it's also because we all vote for each other's countries. So it's always like there's 37 countries voting in it. There was 26 in the final, 26 acts, but 37 countries voting. So they always cut to somebody from that country and are like, here comes Ireland. And it's always Nicky Byrne from Westlife for some reason. Except this year.
To go back to the basics of Eurovision.
Yeah.
It's just music, right?
Yeah.
Just music, and it's a week long?
I don't know, because I only ever watched the final. So the final is just the last night. But they have like a semi-final and then another one. And then like everyone performs and then they whittle it down to 26. So Ireland didn't make it in this year. Shocker, because we're terrible lately.
So, but it's just one performer per country, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
They have
how did they decide that?
They have things in the countries where they decide who goes. In Ireland, they always had like a mini Eurovision. Then whoever won that went on and submitted themselves to the actual. Yeah. Ireland Vision. I-Vision. But Ireland used to hold the record for the most amount of wins in it. I think it's 6 or 7. And now Sweden won a couple of nights ago, and they're tied for the most amount of wins than Ireland. But they've been winning way more lately, and Ireland haven't won since, like, I don't know, the 90s.
I wanted to bring up, I wanted to do some research really quick. The Eurovision Song Contest was held originally in 1956, so however many years.
Long-standing tradition.
Math. Originally conceived as an experiment in transnational television broadcasting. Following a series of exchange broadcasts in 1954, the EBU commissioned an internal song competition. Whatever. 66 contests have been held since its first edition. And over 1,600 songs representing 52 countries have performed on the Eurovision stage as of 2022.
Yeah, and some of them end up going way further than Eurovision, and they end up being like really big songs. Have you ever heard that song, Euphoria? We're going up. That's a Eurovision song.
You guys were showing me when I was there for New Year's. Because I think it spurred from Sam Ryder doing the...
Yeah, he was in it last year.
He
was doing New Year's Rockin' Eve for
UK.
Yeah,
New Year's Rockin' Eve,
and it was basically him doing like a wedding set where he was like in front of all these
really
old people, and he was like, come on, let's go! And he's so infectiously happy.
I'm not seeing enough movement!
Yeah, he's so infectiously happy, but he was singing all the like wedding songs, the golden oldies that only people who are 50 years old like to hear.
Do you think if he cut off his hair?
If he shaved his beard, he's a different person. Anyone who shaves their beard is a different person. But I think if he cut his hair, yeah. He's not Sam Ryder anymore. He's like, Sammy boy.
He's Samuel R.
Yeah. Do you think when he was growing up, they were like, get a real job, hippie?
Probably. He looks like he's been surfing his entire life. He looks like he should be in Point Break.
Yeah. He always has a smile on his face. And I'm like, is that real? Are you always that happy? Probably, but it seems impossible.
I want to see Sam Ryder like being super happy on stage singing, and then it cuts to him stepping into his dressing room, and he just looks at himself in the mirror, and he's just like, why are we doing this anymore?
Kill me.
Fucking God damn it.
Or it's like Sam's like, let's go, everybody! Eurovision! And then somebody drops something behind me. He's like, fuck! Fuck's sake! God, you're such a stupid fucking cunt! Like, he goes like full Christian Bale and someone, and they're like, I was looking at the lights. And he's like, oh, good for you!
Oh, good for you!
Oh, that'd be so fun. I want Sam to swear.
Yeah, do you think he's ever said asshole?
Let Sam swear.
Yes, get it trending, everybody. Let Sam swear. I wonder if we could get Sam Ryder on the podcast.
Oh, he'd be so happy, though. And we'd have to talk about shitting yourself. I wonder if Sam Ryder's ever shit himself on stage.
I bet he shit himself on stage. For sure.
How often do singers do that? Because they're like belting really hard. Like, what if you had like a fucking chicken korma beforehand and it's like upsetting your belly?
Oh man, that should be the next thing in Eurovision for the final. Everyone before their final act has to take laxatives, and then they have to do their act, and the last one to shit themselves wins.
Oh, that's a good one. I want that. Or you have to do your act as you're shitting yourself. And it's like, who can perform under pressure?
Who can perform under pressure? And they all have to perform Under Pressure, the song by Queen.
That is a song Sam Ryder does.
That is true. That is true. Do you think that he made a deal with the devil to be like, I want you to give me the power of Freddie Mercury? But the deal was he has to perform and be happy for the rest of his life.
If he stops being happy, he can't sing anymore.
Exactly.
Oh, I was going to say I think Sam Ryder might be the devil. Like, isn't that how you would win over people? Like, long hair, beard, super smiley, great charisma, and then once everybody on TikTok loves you, you're like, all right, execute Order 66. He's like has like key phrases in all his songs that's kind of like it's going to like trigger people to all kick into action.
It's the Manchurian Candidate thing where like everyone is just
his phrase is Saturday, Saturday, Saturday,
Saturday. And then he stops because it's a certain amount of Saturdays, and he stops and he gets really close to the mic like corpse, and he's just like Saturday.
And then
then it happens.
Ah!
Everyone powers on.
It's like we all have knives in our hands, and it's like, I can't stop it. Damn you, Sam Ryder!
Our eyes.
He's just up on stage going, ha ha! I want to break free. He was there for a brief stint at Eurovision.
Did he have like a special performance?
Yeah, I can't remember what it was. I think it was near the end where he had like an intermission song.
Is he one of those people that actually won, or he didn't actually win and he was just like a crowd favorite?
So he came second, which is the highest UK have done in like really, really long time. They're usually at the bottom. A couple of days ago, they were second last, down with Germany. 1 year they came dead last, and I don't think they got any points. But he came second, and everyone was shocked. But then Ukraine got the most votes of any country ever. And it sparked a big thing of people being like, well, if it wasn't Ukraine and stuff was happening in Ukraine, would they've gotten that many points? But their song was really good. I like their song anyway. It's also like, would Sam also have gotten that many votes if he wasn't on TikTok a lot? It's like, where do we draw that line and start weeding out stuff like that? So he came second, which is huge.
Who won this year? Who did you say?
Sweden. That lady who sang, it
was just Felix going and singing up on stage.
He wishes. He wouldn't be able to get up for Eurovision.
He wishes.
That's another thing. ABBA are from Eurovision. They started as a Eurovision group.
That's right. Let's do a research. Hold on. Popular stars that spawned from Eurovision.
That Bond?
What? 11 of the greatest and most famous singers from Eurovision? Celine Dion? She competed in 1988.
Whenever people speak French, it's like, what French-speaking country are you from? There's so many. It's not just like, I speak French, I'm from French.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, Eurovision is like a springboard for so many people. But I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to have a hot take and say that if you won Eurovision 1 year, you shouldn't be allowed to come back again.
Ooh, does that happen? You're allowed
That's what happened. The lady who just won did it before with that Euphoria song. And then she came back and won again.
That's a cop-out.
Yeah.
I don't think that should be allowed.
Ireland also did that with Johnny Logan back in the 90s, and only Ireland and Sweden are the only two countries that have won twice with the same act. I think it's bullshit. I think because Lorene's so good, and everyone just wanted Finland to win because he was so awesome, and he had big green sleeves and no shirt on, and he was singing cha-cha-cha. He was awesome.
Yeah.
I want Finland to win, but when Lorene's in it, it's unfair because she's too good. Whoa, Ethan, it's like you're in my room. I thought you were all the way in America, but because you use NordVPN to come to the UK, it looks like you're right next to me.
Isn't that crazy? It's like magic, baby. NordVPN, I can be anywhere I want in the world on the internet.
But not only that, not only can you be everywhere, so it's like, oh, there's only a show available in the UK or America or vice versa, wherever. You can go there and do it, but you're also getting protected. Because when those sneaky IP goblins come nibbling at your address and they want to get all your information, you can just use NordVPN and you can go anywhere you want and it hides it.
NordVPN is like holding the power of lightsaber in your hands. The hackers try and come and you are just slashing them away.
Yeah.
You are protected for life with NordVPN. No more sneaky little guys trying to sneak into your sneak zone.
Yeah, especially when you're in public Wi-Fi's. Because that shit just be like all hands are in the pot at once. But you want to make sure you're putting on a glove and putting your hand in that pot and keeping yourself safe while everyone else burns.
But man, protection like that must be pricey, right, Sean?
No, you stupid son of a bitch! It's so simple and cheap! Because you can go and get your exclusive NordVPN deal by going to nordvpn.com/brain. I bet you couldn't even repeat that if I asked.
Man, was that nordvpn.com/brain?
By God, he's got it. You get a huge discount off your NordVPN plan plus 4 additional months for free.
Damn, it's completely risk-free.
Why is it risk-free?
They have a 30-day money-back guarantee.
Oh, that's so risk-free. Because not only that, you get to use one NordVPN account on 6 devices. You could be 6 people in 6 different places on 6 different devices all from one account.
You're an omnipotent god with NordVPN.
Yeah, you can finally make that band you've always wanted and play in different parts of the world all at the same time.
And feel safe while doing it. So go to nordvpn.com/brain. Get protected and get all over the place.
Get yourself a condom for the internet.
Who was the worst this year? One, who did get last place, if you know, but who, in your opinion, was overhyped and you're like, this fucking sucks?
I think Germany came last. They had like a heavy metal song called Blood and Glitter, Sweet and Bitter. We're so happy we could die.
Isn't Maneskin or whatever the band is called, aren't they from Eurovision too?
Yeah, they won 2 years ago.
Where are they from?
Italy. Which I don't know if their name means anything because it looks Norwegian or Swedish. And then I asked Felix what it meant and he was like, I don't know. And I asked Marcia what it means and she's like, it's not Italian.
It's a Danish word that means moonlight.
Oh. Look, it's not my fault. Everyone forgets about Denmark.
The band's bassist is half Danish and suggested the word for their band's name in 2016.
Huh. But the act that I didn't like was Carpe Diem. The song is called Carpe Diem and the group is called Joker Out.
Joker Out.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's like, yo, Joker out, mic drop. And he walks off like,
yeah, it's just him being like, you want to know how I won Eurovision?
Here's the deal. You're gonna vote for me. And I'm gonna win. And it's like, what do you want? Half.
He just goes up to the judge. Are there judges? I don't know how it works.
Yeah, how many points do you want?
Yeah, and he's just like, you want to see a magic trick? And he does the pencil thing and just slams her head on the
fucking
table.
kills Graham Norton on the stage.
Oh, is Graham Norton a judge?
It's gone.
I didn't know he was a judge.
Well, he's not a judge. He was a presenter. He did presenting with the lady from Game of Thrones who goes, shame, and like made Cersei walk naked through the streets.
Does he sing? Or is it just we're gonna have celebrities?
It's just celebrities. Plus, he does a narration every year. So if you watch it on BBC, you hear him talk about Eurovision. But this year he was on stage and he talked backstage. But he's so good because he makes fun of everyone.
It sounds very like Hunger Games-esque for some reason.
It kind of is, except your weapon is your music.
It'd be so funny if one year they're just flipping on its head and it's just like, every country has to kill each other.
Yeah, it's like, we're going to play all your songs at the same time. Whoever finishes first gets to run and get a weapon. But every time Graham's talking about the show, he kind of like makes fun of the acts, or he's a bit uncouth. So he's not like, I don't know, anytime he's like, wow, that's a dress. Or he just kind of like makes fun of shit that's happening on stage.
Good old Graham.
But this year he was on stage and he was doing, because he did the start and the end, and then he did his talking in the middle of it. So some other lady took over when he had to be on stage. And then at one point he was like, just to warn everybody, there is a skit incoming. And then it cut to them talking on stage, and it cut to Graham in his booth, and he had popcorn in his hand, and he was like, huh, like all shocked. And he did something really cringe, and then it came back, and he was like, apologies for that. So he's just so much fun to listen to, and he doesn't give two fucks.
I love that. He seems like one of the like talk show kind of hosts that is like genuinely really cool, and it would be really fun to go on his show.
I want him on the podcast.
Easy.
I want to ask Graham Norton what he would say if someone asked for wedding advice. And he's like, just shit yourself.
Perfect. Oh, I bet Graham Norton shit himself, and I bet he would be willing to talk about it.
That's the thing. Everyone you look up to has shit themselves. Everyone's like, man, Taylor Swift, mother is mothering. Guarantee you she shit herself.
Yeah, she has sharded every episode. We're going to talk about shitting your pants. And that's a promise.
Is that our thing?
As the leakers.
Yeah. More like ass leak. We've made that joke before.
Oh, man, we got to make merch that is just like, I shit my pants.
I'm about to shit my pants.
See these pants? They've got shit in them.
What's a Taylor Swift song? I don't keep up with T-Switty often enough.
I don't either, but Jeebus Christ. Her tour that is still happening, I think. Yeah. Is wild. Like, it's crazy going on TikTok and seeing like random people streaming the concert, and they have like 70,000 people watching their TikTok live. Yeah. She's really taking over the world.
Yeah, and I don't know how it happened, because I remember Taylor Swift being the country girl, and then in my mind she went away for a while, and then suddenly she was back as like the biggest person on the planet, and I'm like, what did I miss?
Yeah, I feel the same way. Like, I know that Taylor Swift has been really big for a really long time, but I feel like I thought that she kind of like died out a little bit.
I thought she died.
I thought she died. Maybe this is the first time that she's toured in a really long time, and that's why it's, I don't know. But
I don't know. I think because she re-recorded her music and like got her rights back and stuff like that. Like all the people who are Taylor Swift fans are like so ingrained in the lore that they know it to a fucking hair length. And I'm like, I think she does music. I think sometimes she plays guitar. She goes, I'm the problem. It's me.
I think she does the tunes. She gets on stage, taps her toe.
I mean, it's the type of music that I just haven't listened to. I don't know if I would like it or not. But seeing how involved all her fans are in what she does kind of scares me. As someone who has fans who get involved in what I'm doing and sometimes go a little too far, I'm like, that's like 1%, if not less, of what Taylor Swift has. And that's so scary. I can't imagine being Taylor Swift and not wanting to stay in a room forever on my own.
I don't know how I would survive being that level of like celebrity where you literally cannot go anywhere without people constantly recording you and like taking pictures and stuff like that. I would feel so uncomfortable all the time.
Yeah, I'm glad that doesn't happen. People come up and they're like, are you Jack Steps guy? I'm like, yeah. Oh, cool. Nice to meet you. I'm like, Yeah. But could you imagine being like, Sean, what do you think about the current economic climate? Click, 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 click.
God, they probably have nightmares of just the sound of that. Just
how to trigger a celebrity is just rapid fire shutter click.
I do love those videos from like early 2010s, I think, of paparazzi in front of Kanye's house, and it's like 5 o'clock in the morning, and he's getting in his car.
Yeah,
and the guy's just like, "Good morning, Kanye." And it's just like, "Shut the fuck up." It's so funny.
I don't feel bad for paparazzi whenever a celebrity shits on them. When Tobey Maguire's like, "There are cars there, motherfucker," I'm like, yeah shit on them.
I don't feel bad at all. A lot of people are like, it's their job. Cool. Get a different one. It shouldn't
be a job.
Get a different one that's not super invasive.
I hate it. It's already troublesome enough when people get scrutinized online all the time for everything they do. And a celebrity says something and then everyone's like, well, what does that mean? What did you mean by that? Like, imagine Taylor Swift coming out and saying anything. And there's so many people who are just like, huh? What was that?
What?
We love you. What? We love you, but we're prepared not to.
We love you right now, but if you say anything that we don't like, we will turn on you immediately.
Not only that, but it must be scary to go anywhere. If everyone knows who you are. I feel weird in restaurants sometimes when I see people looking at me. I'm like, did they know who I am? How do I eat food? How many times do I chew? That's enough.
Or like... I get it sometimes where I notice that somebody has recognized me, and then I feel like, have I not been looking happy enough?
Yeah.
I need to make sure that I look like I'm enjoying life.
Yeah, that or Taylor Swift doesn't give a fuck, and it's like, I'm just going to do whatever the fuck I want, because nothing I do ever goes the way it's supposed to.
No, I mean, at that point, you can't do right.
Man. I hope Taylor's okay. Maybe Taylor wants to come on the podcast.
Yeah, come on, Taylor.
Absolutely 100% doubt, but on the off chance that she's a leaker.
I think that... Oh, man. I might catch flack for this.
Uh-oh.
I think that when, a while back, Justin Bieber was, like, racing cars and, like, just being a shithead. I'm not defending his actions, but... When you have that amount of fame and that amount of people, like, saying yes to you all the time, I feel like you're bound to be kind of a jackass. And, like, at that point, it's like, you could do a lot worse than just driving your car fast. I don't know. I feel kind of bad for people sometimes where it's just like, yeah, their life is really weird, and everyone is constantly looking at them. And
yeah, I don't know JB too well. Because he's probably done way worse stuff that I'm just not...
Yeah, he hasn't texted me back in a while.
He's probably done way worse stuff that I don't know about because I actually know nothing about him. All I know is that he spit off a balcony onto fans once. I think. That might not have been him. But I think Britney Spears is like the good example. Well, not good. That's a bad word for it. But when she... like shaved her head and started stabbing a car with an umbrella and stuff like that back in the day, I'm like... Now I get it. I get how you get to that point. I feel like at some point I would rather just stay inside and do nothing. But I feel like if your whole life is being scrutinized like that, I understand how you can be pushed to your limits.
I feel extremely, extremely, extremely lucky to be able to live the life that I live, and I love what I do. But I do think about this sometimes where I'm like, I'm really excited for the day that I can log off of the internet forever and just kind of hang up my coat and be like, all right, I'm done, and be a bit more of a normal person. Because I think that being a person that makes shit online, you're kind of inherently chronically online because your brain is always just there because it's what you do for a living. Yeah. And I can't wait to not do that anymore at some point.
You just hang up your XLR cable. You're like, man, I'm done. There it goes.
It was nice.
Hang up that play button. Much.
Hang up my headphones and my cape.
Yeah. hang up my soapbox that I love to stand on and talk down to people. Tie up my high horse, let him loose. Let him out into the wild.
You're free now. You can go.
Yeah. It's time for somebody else to get up on that high horse. It's time for someone else's.
So tall.
It's time for someone else's opinions to not matter.
Man, Sean, I'm just sick of speaking one language and one language alone. I wish that I could just communicate with other people around the world.
Oh my God! Shut up already and go to Babbel.com.
You stupid idiot! There is an easy solution, and it only takes 15 minutes a day.
15-minute lessons a day for you to not speak nonsense in my ears all the time. Why don't you speak another language and make yourself interesting?
Oh, man, Babbel has expertly crafted lessons built around real life. You're not just learning how to do the ABCs and learning the correct way to say stuff. You're learning how to speak the language, how it is actually spoken.
Yeah, you're not learning stuff like, apple, orange. You're learning stuff like, where can I go to get the next issue of fucking Brain Leak, bruh?
Oh my God, learn how to speak about Brain Leak in Spanish or German or so many different languages.
You want to go on Quackity's Minecraft server and learn all the languages that are happening there because everyone speaks multi-languages? Use Babbel to do it.
You can become a highly successful Minecraft YouTuber with the power of Babbel.
Yeah, and you can use Babbel's speech recognition technology. It helps you improve your pronunciation and accent. So if you're like, bonjour, no, it'll say bonjour.
And that's how you learn how to not sound like a goddamn idiot. Babbel will save you the embarrassment.
Yeah, so right now, you can get up to 55% off your subscription when you go to babbel.com/brain. Whoa, I just said that, and I already forgot what it was. Where was it?
It was babbel.com/brain. And that link transcends language. Doesn't matter what language you speak, it'll always be the same.
It'll always take you home to get 55% off your subscription.
And it's not boring either. There's so many ways to learn with Babbel. There's not only lessons, but there's access to podcasts, games, videos, stories, and even live classes. And plus, it comes with a 20-day money-back guarantee. You would be a fool not to go and learn a new language with Babbel.
Every journey starts with a first step. Or as they say in Spanish, primer paso.
How did you know that, Sean?
I went to babbel.com/brain.
Babbel.com/brain. Language for life.
I think gamers should be hunted.
It's the most dangerous game.
No.
That's the final Mr. Beast video. He rounds up every streamer, every YouTuber, everyone ever, and it's just like, run.
Last one to catch a straight bullet wins.
Yeah.
I feel like we're closer to that than we're not.
Yeah, we absolutely are.
I feel like that.
Today, he's curing blindness. Tomorrow,
He's causing
it.
I blinded 10,000 kids so I could cure 1,000 of them.
Oh, man. What are we going to do to better society?
Force Twitter to close.
Man.
How much better would all of this job be and all of everything be if there was no Twitter?
God, back when Elon started freaking making his changes at first, and people were like, I think Twitter's done. I got really excited. I was like, please, 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 for the love of God. Which I have the power to remove myself.
I was going to say, it's like hovering over the delete button being like, I know what I must do, but I don't think I have the strength to do it.
It's completely true. I could just delete Twitter. Oh, man. Maybe I should. It would be better for my mental health.
It would be better for everybody if we all deactivated. Mm-hmm. But then how else would you keep up with the aesthetic things? Twitter account.
We should all make a pact. You know?
Careful.
Use our influence for good. And
Careful.
say, hey, I am going to swear to delete my Twitter by X date. Who's with me? And that's how you really see who the real fans are.
It's like, let's all jump off this cliff together, guys. I'll go first. Who's with me? And on the way down, you're like falling backwards, like, guys.
Guys, come on, you said.
Slap. It's like, man, what an idiot. Retweet.
That would be so fun, though. Everybody deactivates their Twitter at the same time. We all listen to taps play as we do it, you know. Ba, 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 ba. It'd be so good.
Yeah.
Maybe someday.
You just put your phone on a teeny tiny boat and push it out into the water. You're like, there he goes. And then you fire like a flaming arrow at it.
A Viking funeral for my Twitter? That's such a funny idea.
Oh, at some point, if we're ever serious about deleting our Twitters, we should do it for a podcast video or like a Brain Leak video where we host a Viking burial for our Twitter accounts.
That's so funny. I love that idea. That's so good.
Just like print out our tweets and bury them in the backyard.
That's so good.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
Old Yeller, our fucking Twitter accounts.
Like, I'm sorry, boy.
That's a really funny video idea, is just like announcing that you're going to delete your Twitter, and then it's just 100 different ways that I executed my Twitter account.
I feel
It's like your phone hanging from the gallows.
You just like guillotine the top half of it. I keep thinking that if I ever quit YouTube or quit Twitter or any sort of like online thing, I want to go out like narratively. I don't want to just like delete it and then people wake up and suddenly like, oh, where's his account gone? I want to like build it out for like a month-long narrative where we like devolve into madness. And then at the end of it, it disappears. Like my YouTube channel, I was like, at one point I was like, if I ever deleted my channel, I would like go out and die in like a skit. And I think that's where the anti thing came from, because I was like, imagine like building it up for a month and then you die on camera at the end, like acting, but then it's just gone.
I had that conversation the other day where like when, because eventually I'm not going to do this anymore at some point. And so it's like I want to kind of like go out on my own terms and like have a final video, because that was like the nice thing about Unisonis, was being in control of that and being like, no, this is ending. Yeah. Instead of just like kind of like fading into obscurity, and just like once I'm done, I want to have a like, boom, I'm done. Yeah. Go out on my own terms.
And then you just ride that podcast into
the sunset.
Baby. You just
so beautiful.
You buy a horse named Podcast and you just get up on him and you look around and your YouTube channel's in the background and be like, see you later, buckaroo.
So long.
Click, 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 click.
Go on, get.
Go on, get now.
You're just Arthur Morgan. Hey, girl.
You're all right, boy. There they are, girl. Have you heard his other versions of those that got declined?
The like really horny ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my girl. Like, whoa.
Whoa.
Roger.
Ride him, cowboy. Wow.
You're my girl. Like, whoa. And you have to like wink. You have to like wink at the camera as you do it. Like, there, girl. It's like, whoa. It's like someone's digging holes in your throat.
Icky.
That gives me the ick.
That gives me the ick. What gives you the ick, huh?
Ooh, that's a good question. Oh, you know what gives me the ick? Is when people open mouth kiss their dogs. Like, not just like, oh, you're so cute, like kiss on the head or something. Like, I do that. But it's when people go like, and it's like the dog's just licking their lips and teeth over and over and over again. That fucks me up. And people are like, no, dogs' mouths are cleaner than human mouths. I'm like, I don't think they are. I think people just say that.
I have a hard time agreeing with that. Like, my dog back home eats his own shit, so I'm pretty sure that's not true.
Yeah, it's like if I ate shit and the dog ate shit, why would his mouth be cleaner? He ate shit, I didn't. Whose mouth is cleaner? Who do you want to kiss?
What a provoking thought experiment. If I eat shit and my dog eats shit, whose mouth is cleaner?
Yeah. It's like if you get shit in your arm, what are you going to do? Toilet paper or water? It's like, if my dog eats his own shit, what are you going to do? Come on, think about it.
Think about it for a second.
Come on, people. Why aren't we talking about this?
Have you seen those videos of, like, people letting their rats, like, clean their teeth?
Ew!
It's really gross. It's really, really, really gross. They'll just, like,
Why?
open their mouth, and then the rat will just, like, go in and, like...
Yeah, floss exists. Toothbrushes exist.
Yeah, just brush your teeth. Stop letting your rats inside your mouth.
Yeah! It's like, sure, they pulled out like a lump of food that Floss would have gotten, but they've also been walking in their own shit and piss all day. Don't rats piss everywhere?
Yeah, and they poop, and they pee, and they do all sorts of stuff.
What animal is it that I saw that has like a yellow belly? And everyone's like, oh, look at his little yellow belly. And people were like, it was like a sugar glider or one of those types of creatures. And people are like, yeah, because they roll around in their own piss. They actually piss everywhere and roll in it.
Man, I wish that were me.
I wish I could piss everywhere.
Just rolling around.
What gives you the ick? What gets
So
that
many
icky sticky going?
So many things.
Is it when I jerk you off and don't say your name during?
Yeah, that gives me the ick a little bit.
I need to hear it.
When you don't make enough eye contact, that I don't know. It just like, come on.
Just like, you're all right, boy.
Come on, what happened to what we were? How did we?
I want to go back to
so
what
far?
was.
Yeah, man.
Oh, how fast the night changes.
Does it ever drive you crazy? Just how fast the night changes. I don't like it.
I am a surgeon.
I am a surgeon. That show, what has been going on with that? Everyone's sharing clips from that show. I've never seen it.
The whole gimmick of the show is that he's autistic and he's a doctor. But it's like terrible autism representation because it's just him like freaking out all the time.
And I've seen clips of like where he's just standing there and like everything's like flowing through his brain and like
yeah, he goes kind of like
textbook stuff.
He goes like Sherlock Mind Palace every now and then, which I found out recently that apparently Sherlock Holmes is supposed to be autistic as well, and I never knew that. But like it's a lot of that stuff is like, yeah, it's terrible autism representation, but then it went a step further where it was like terrible trans representation because some kid in it is like, I'm a girl. He's like, no, they were born a boy, so they're a boy. And it's like the autistic guy can't understand a trans person. It's like, guys, all of this is just bad. It's just really, really bad. He's like, do you always paint your nails? Do you wear dresses? It's like, are we in the 90s again? What's happening?
Is it a current show that's airing, or is it from a while back?
It looks more current because Daniel Day Kim in it is older and looks like his current self.
It is 2017 to present.
Oof, that is way too recent to have that kind of representation. And the guy who plays the good doctor, is his name Freddie Highmore? Something Highmore. He's a really good actor. It's a shame. He's Charlie in the Chocolate Factory, Charlie. The Johnny Depp one.
Oh! He is Charlie in the Chocolate Factory, Charlie.
Lisa, can I have a chocolate bar?
You know, I think that the rest of Charlie's grandparents must have been pretty fucking upset when Uncle Joe or whatever the fuck his name is, he just gets up out of bed and they're like, motherfucker, you've been faking it this whole time? None of us can get out of bed? What have you been doing?
The power of capitalism and chocolate?
Oh, man. Oh, man.
I still want to get to your ick. I'm not moving on from this.
My ick is when old people pretend to be bedridden and they're actually not.
That can't give you the ick. That just grinds your gears.
My ick.
What makes you go like, ugh, God?
I don't like it when people are purposely mean for a joke, even though it like might be a joke. It makes me sad. Or when people
I make fun of you all the time.
Yeah, but it's not the same. It's not the same.
You make fun of me to hurt my feelings. I make fun of you to make myself feel good. We are not the same.
Something that people do is like if somebody is talking and then somebody's just like, shut up, to make them stop talking. It makes me really uncomfortable and it makes me feel bad.
Yeah, people not being able to like read the room in like a sort of vindictive way. Like when people have to monopolize the conversation for themselves.
When the egos take over.
Oh, man. Shut up. Auntie, no.
Auntie, no. Oh,
his body was weak. Shut up.
I think Auntie really gives me the ick, you know?
Me too. He should. That's like poop again. It's like, he shouldn't not give you the ick.
Why you don't have shoes on? You're stepping in blood. Ew.
Why you kill those guys? Oh, come on, Auntie, be a bro.
Auntie, come on. His body's not that weak. He's been lifting.
Look, he's strong.
Look at him.
Just because he's weak emotionally and physically, don't mean he don't have some strength.
Everyone's strong on the inside. Auntie.
This is where people get their ego lore, is talking like this on the podcast. Like, Chase Brody, what was that all about? Why was he there?
Why was he there? Why'd you teleport? What happened with that?
Oh, like 1 second he at one place, and then the second place, oh, boom, he not.
Chase Brody, what happened to your Toyota Prius? Was it left in the middle of the woods?
When you got evicted, did that hurt?
Chase Brody, do you have a bunch of parking tickets because your fucking Toyota Prius is left over there?
Yeah. What were you doing in the woods?
Yeah, so anyway.
Oh, Ethan, I'm so upset.
Why are you upset, Sean?
Oh, because I want to go see Taylor Swift in concert, but the seats always sell out and they're always bad.
Have you been using other ticketing websites?
Oh, other than what? What other options are there?
Man, you only got one good option, and it's SeatGeek. Not only are they going to give you the best prices on seats, but they're going to give you some damn good seats, and they make it so easy. They have over 28 million downloads, and it is the #1 rated ticketing app. You can trust the people. They've been ranting and raving about SeatGeek.
And here it tells me that there's more than 70,000 events every single day on SeatGeek, including concerts, sports, festivals.
And
what have I been doing with my life?
They make buying tickets easy and intuitive. You don't want to scroll through a bunch of things that all look the same. You're like, well, is this a good seat? Is this not a good seat?
I hate doing that.
Just look for the green dots on the app. All right? Look for the green dots. Green means good. Red means bad. It means you're getting a good price. You're getting a good seat. You're going to have a good time.
You know what I love about it is that all of their each ticket is rated on a scale of 1 to 10. So you know if it's good or not. Every ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee as well. SeatGeek is the only site that lets you return your tickets if the event ahead of the event with swaps.
You're so right. You're learning so fast. Listen, Sean, if you want to go see T-Swizzy or anybody else, or
T-Switties,
if you're traveling back in time to last year when my show was happening, or 2017-18 when your show was happening.
What about Beyonce?
Beyonce's probably going out there. Yeah.
What about Kendrick Lamar?
Sure.
Drake.
He's touring. Yeah.
Tyler, the Creator.
Whoever's touring.
Tenacious D.
If there's a show happening.
Led Zeppelin.
I don't think so. Listen, you go and use my code BRAIN. That's BRAN for $20 off tickets at SeatGeek.
$20?
$20 off your first purchase with promo code BRAIN.
Use code BRAIN at SeatGeek on the app?
Yes, just go in the description. Click it.
Damn, thank you, Ethan. I'm going to be happy now.
Yeah, go and live out your T-Swizzy dreams.
I'm a Swiftie for life. I'm going to go see her now. Basically, what I think is that Eurovision is lit.
It is.
I'm excited for, I forgot it was happening now. I'm excited for next year when we can start making predictions for Eurovision on a podcast episode.
Oh, man, and we can represent the country of YouTube.
Yeah! What would our song be about? I drank piss once!
Da, da, da. It would be either that or a song about shitting yourself. You, me, and Aaron go up on stage and just like sucking on dicks and shitting the cum and then fucking in the shitting in the dick in my mouth.
Cum. Coming in my ass and shitting it out.
Wait, you speaking of Aaron Hansen and dicks, you were on the Game Grumps show.
I was. The Tournament of Gamers.
In Dublin.
I was in London and then I went fucking over to Dublin, bud, so I did. Saw a bunch of the lads over there.
Was Conor McGregor there?
No, thank God.
Conor McGregor, huge Game Grumps fan.
I like it when he says not so grump. I like it when he comes in and he's like, who the fuck is nutso?
That's funny.
No, that was really fun. I forgot what it was like to be on tour and be on a tour bus. I did the tour bus for one night.
Which bunk did you have?
Bottom.
Bottom?
I like the bottom. When I'm on top, I feel like I'm swaying too much. I feel like I'm on a boat.
See, I like the middle.
You would. You would.
Yeah.
You mid.
Yeah, I just can't have any opinion. I'm right in the middle, and I'm always like, guys, can we just stop fighting?
Can't we all just get along and kiss one another's faces?
Can we all just kiss a little bit?
KYS, more like kiss yourself. Just try it.
Kiss yourself.
Kiss yourself in the mirror once and say, you're beautiful, I love you.
You're beautiful, I love you. Oh, fuck. These days are so long.
You just have like a real deep conversation with yourself. But yeah, we did for the show, because their show is like planned out really properly now. So there's very little like wiggle room for a third person to come into the act. So I came up with the idea. I was like, people are coming to see me. So why don't we have fun with it and just have me sitting on the edge of the stage and not be part of the act and just be sitting there for the whole thing like a zoo animal, and people can just be like, there he is.
It should just like put you in like a plexiglass enclosure. So
they bring people up on stage and interview them or like intro them, like, what's your name? Do you like ice cream? Like, make up your own questions. But I did that, and then in between that I would sit down and read a book called Bearhead that someone gifted them. And I don't know what Bearhead was about. So in between, while they were playing the games, I would just sit there and pretend to read Bearhead. And then they'd be like, Sean, can you go get more people? I'm like, oh, fuck. Okay, fine.
I'm at a really important part in the book. They found the head of the bear.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a guy wearing a head of a bear or if it's a bear giving head. It's like, which is it? I need to get to the point where the head is like, what is it the head doing?
Who's getting the head?
Is it a man wearing a bear? Is it furry porn? Is he wearing a bear head? Giving head?
We don't find out until the last chapter, and I can only read this during the show, so I really need to utilize my time properly.
Yeah, I really tried to actually read it as we were going, but I don't think it's a book that I would normally read, so I was like glossing over words. And every now and then it was like, that fucking bitch. And I was like, whoa, what's happening?
What's happening? I can't read.
Wow. It was very fun. I had a great time.
Good lads. They're still on tour.
Yeah, I think they're doing Germany as of this recording.
Where in the world is Grumpin' Not So Grump?
Just a little bus with two little heads.
Do they have, like, cool armor and stuff?
They have, like, outfits they come out on.
Horses?
No. They don't even joust. I was expecting to be at, like, medieval times when I was at the show. Turns out, I was just at a Grump show. I was just at modern times.
Modern times.
When they look back, you know when we're, like, medieval times, the Dark Ages, like, in 1,000 years and they look back, what's this era going to be called? The shithole era?
The chronically online time.
That's true. I'm waiting for that day when it's coming. I keep talking to Tommy about it, where I'm like, he's like, what do you think is going to happen? Because he's like, you've been on YouTube 10 years. What do you think is next? And I'm like, everything started off very commercial in the beginning. It was like YouTubers trying to become actors. And then that kind of went away. And then my generation and our generation sort of like came in, and it was like, it was more about honesty and like being in your bedroom and just being open with people and not trying to like go beyond your means. And now it's kind of like back at that phase where it's like, it's very commercialized again and it's very reality TV. I'm like, I think we're just going to swing back to like really honest stuff because people will get so bored of seeing How many times can you stand in a circle and win money and realize that it's just reality TV on YouTube instead of, like, we're getting into like Fear Factor levels of content creation, and it's not new. It's just bigger and it's more open, but it's the same thing as like 90s TV.
Everything on YouTube feels really unobtainable. Like, I can't imagine starting out on YouTube now, where it's like, I don't have $1 million to put into a video.
Small loan.
Like, how the fuck a small $1 million loan for my father.
Yeah, everyone has like editors when they start off. Well, not everyone, but most of the people I see have like editors and like a plan. Like, I didn't have a plan.
Yeah, I just did shit.
It's like the thing is, going back and watching our first videos now, not to say we're better or anything, or this style of YouTubing is better.
No, but we are.
Yeah, this is our podcast. I can say what I want.
Uh-huh.
But when you go back and watch our first videos, now it's like, oh man, what a journey, what a change. But I feel like some people that are starting now have it kind of figured out where production values are so high. It's like when you go back and watch first videos, it's like, it didn't change that much. Or you haven't been doing as many of them because it's like a video a month kind of vibe. I don't know. I'm just an old man yelling at clouds. Man, my clothes are shitty. I wish I could get better ones.
Man, wouldn't it be crazy if you were the CEO of the company that we're currently doing an ad read for?
That would be ridiculous!
That would be so crazy if there were new colorways made with Cloak.
It's Cloak, by the way. We're talking about Cloak.
Mm-hmm.
Who would even put a sponsor segment in their own podcast from their own company on their own podcast?
Only a very smart intellectual.
Yeah.
Listen, I've got these stinky ass clothes and I need something new. I want some cutting edge designs inspired by tech, made specifically for summer weather conditions, which feature advanced materials and construction methods that keep me cool and comfortable.
Well, have I got news for you, because following on from my tactical line that comprised of sleek, minimal clothing that I designed myself, we've got unique brain leak colorways made special for this partnership on the way. It's a fan favorite tactical collection. Softline forms are back in new cool colorways.
Where can I find those?
Oh man, if you go to cloakbrand.com/brainleak, you could get them there. Use a special code though.
Would the special code get me 10% off, and is the special code Jack shit his pants?
Unfortunately, yes. It's a little joke that people like to make on my expense because I'm so powerful at this company.
Oh my god, that is so funny. I can't wait to check out those new colorways.
Go to cloakbrand.com/brainleak and use the code JackShitHisPants. Jack shit his pants, no spaces.
No spaces.
For 10% off.
Well, would you like to give some advice to the clouds?
Yes!
Some bad advice?
I want to give terrible advice to people.
Roll the theme song!
Ethan and Sean, give bad advice. Bad advice with Ethan and Sean. I have one.
He's got one.
This one is from Alex Spiegel, and they say, now that my parents are dead, what should I do with their ashes? I've heard that dumping them on Disney rides is a popular option. Thanks.
Just dumping. You're going through the ride. You dump the hatches, it falls onto a fucking 2-year-old kid.
Yeah, and you're just like streaming smoke, being like, that's my dad! That's my dad! You gotta go on like Splash Mountain or something though, where you get like return on your investment. So you like splash them everywhere.
Yeah, it's all about ROI.
Yeah. Like, if you're on the Matterhorn, it's like, yeah, you just spread it around, but then they're going to vacuum up the slide and whatever. But if it's in the water, what are they going to do? You're in the earth.
Space Mountain would be kind of cool. Space Mountain? Is that the one in the dark?
Space Mountain's in the dark. I said Splash Mountain.
Yeah. But Space Mountain would be kind of cool because you go and you throw the ashes, then people behind them, they're like, oh, it's space dust. Little do they know.
Well, it's so ashy.
That it's Mummy and Puppy.
It's like, oh, moon dust.
And no one's ever going to clean that up because they can't see it because it's in the dark.
That's true.
In the dark.
I feel like you already gave yourself great advice on this one.
But I think going off of what you said about ROI, because at the end of the day, it all is about ROI, return on investment.
Yeah, you should capitalism on your parents' death.
Yes, I think that, this is going to take some time. But, your parents, I'm assuming, are relatively important to you in your life. And so I think that you should do what you can to please them the most. So how many grains of mama and papa are in the ashes?
Ooh.
Probably thousands, right? So you could take each little thing of ash and put it in so many places.
That's true.
And then they're represented all over the world.
That's a good one. I'm trying to think of where you could, like, you could just start putting them in milk and handing them out to kids as milkshakes. Say like, oh, chalky milk. And then your parents are like traveling the world like a dandelion in the breeze.
Oh, that's kind of nice, isn't it?
Ooh, where's the most fucked up place you could dump them? Because I'm like, my brain's going to like little things like someone's out mowing their lawn, you just throw it right out in front of them and so you just go like, go everywhere. But that's so boring. No one gets to see that. Skydiving.
I have an idea because of the I think it's LeBron that does it. He takes like baby powder and he throws it in the air. You replace his baby powder with your parents' ashes.
Ashes.
Well, it is kind of a little bit of their asses, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's not like a pet where you're like burned alive with so many other pets. It's like, no, you
get a little bit of somebody else in there.
Maybe. I mean, bits of them are probably still in the fire and in the furnace.
Do the fire and flames. There's no way that they...
I've got it.
Huh?
You make a drum kit out of them. You get in touch with a company like Sonar or Pearl or Tama or Ludwig or any of those companies that make drum kits. And then you're like, my parents mean so much to me. You know how people like put their blood in ink and like write autographs or something like that? That's bullshit. That's stupid. What you want to do is get your parents' ashes mixed up in some like fucking resin and get like a clear drum kit made out of it. And then write like to mom and pop on the side of it. Or like get their faces in the ashes on the side of it, like stretched out, like they're going through the river Styx.
Man, that would be so cool is if you had... So you have to do a little bit of pre-planning on this one. But if you can get a mold of their face, or better yet, a cast of their entire body, then you can just have the ashes be made into that mold of their face and or the cast of their body. So then you can basically just recreate them.
Wow.
Or
here we go.
ask them what their ideal version of themselves are. So if your dad is like, I wish my balls hung a little bit lower, then you can alter that and make them into the ideal version of themselves that they wanted to be. You know? Give your dad a six-pack.
Okay, what I want to do is get into the entertainment industry. Specifically live shows. And then you end up on like the world's biggest stage. Let's just bring T Switty back because we've been talking about Taylor in this episode. You work as merch on her tour and you rig a t-shirt cannon that has your parents' ashes in it. So when Taylor comes out and you think, I hope I grab the t-shirt. I don't think Taylor Swift has a t-shirt cannon on stage, but that's where you convince her. And then instead of a t-shirt coming out, it's just... and it's just nothing but ashes all over, like 70,000 of them. Everywhere. It gets into fucking air conditioning. It's all over everywhere. People are breathing your parents.
You can do the t-shirt cannon, or you can replace all of the confetti that they drop from the ceiling with your parents' ashes.
That's a good one too, yeah.
Then it's like raining your parents.
Anything that's like, or like crop dusting, like anything that's just like... But crop dusting, it just gets on crops. That's boring.
Oh, but
who's out there?
It's feeding the planet.
It's still feeding the planet if you put it in children's faces. They're gonna pass it eventually.
What if you replace the smoke that they put in planes to write messages of like, I love you, Karen? Like, you replace that with your parents' ashes.
First of all,
it's just like,
no one's writing I love you, Karen in the fucking clouds. When have you ever seen I love you, Karen?
Never. It hasn't happened. And, you know, I understand. Oh, man, I feel bad for any child that has the name Karen. That's a bummer. Yeah. You're going by your middle name at that point. There's no way.
Do you know how they say, like, the journey of poop? When it's like, it gets through your system. What is that?
Comes back to it.
It's always coming back to shit.
Are you talking about digestion?
No, what's that like children's book that's like...
Everybody poops?
Yeah, it's like the journey of 1,000 poops or whatever. And it's like, that's it. If you spray it in people's faces, they ingest it. It's in their poop. It goes through the sewer. It's traveling the world, baby.
It's like Finding
It's
Nemo.
all over.
Well, I think we've answered Alex's question quite well.
Yeah.
All right. We've got one from Callum, which is loosely related to the last one. Hello, fellow gentlemen. I haven't seen my dad in years. He never told me where he went to go, and I'm wondering how I would be able to find him, and what would be the best thing to say to him after 16 years of no contact. Thank you for your time. So,
how do you find someone easily? Facebook?
Well, here's the thing about fathers, right? They all love games. They all love hunting, whether it be for turkey or for treasure. So, somewhere in your house, there's got to be a map that he left.
Because it's somewhere in your house, there's got to be a father.
There's got to be a father. There's got to be a map, all right? Look on, like, if you have a copy of the Declaration of Independence, look on the back of that. That's often where maps are found. Could be a family photo, could be hidden in the floorboards, maybe, in a secret drawer. There's a map somewhere with a series of riddles attached. Now, your father is going to make the riddles probably maybe about him or about your family. Your job is to figure out these riddles and figure out the clues to find your father. And maybe you'll find yourself along the way.
Are you positing that the dad left, but left something behind to find him?
Mm-hmm.
Because I thought you just really forgot what they asked.
No. They always leave clues. There's always traces.
There's always a trail. Yeah, you could just surely you should have your dad's credit cards memorized. Like, find that digital trail. Like, where's he gone? He had to go somewhere. You know the episode of The Office where they try and find Michael again, and it's like walking out the door, it's like, where would my dad go? I think I'll get some shoes. The shoe store. And it's like, you just get in your dad's frame of mind. You bring your phone with you, you look at the map, you're just like, where would my dad, that piece of shit, go? And then you get in contact with a hacker who can just find him easily. You just give a name. Surely, if he's left you and your family, he can't be that smart. That's not a smart move to make. So I think he's bound to still be using the same name somewhere.
I think depending on your location and depending on your dad's age, you could also sort of try and find him via entertainment shows that are going around. So if you live in like Florida or something like that, if Jimmy Buffett has been touring around, follow the trail of Jimmy Buffett because he's bound to be going to those shows. Or maybe Dave Matthews or... it depends on what your dad was into, but you kind of have to know a little bit about your dad to be able to find him.
I want to know when these dads leave, these pieces of shit, when they up and leave their families without a word, those sons of bitches. When they leave, are they just leaving everything? Like, if they packed a bag, or are they just like, I'm going out for cigarettes, like that age-old quote. And then it's like, did they just get in the car and leave? It's like, what about all their stuff? Although they're leaving their kids and their significant others behind, so I don't think they really care about stuff.
Yeah, I think it's really just about a new slate, fresh, clean slate, and they're just going and living a new life.
Here's my terrible advice. Just leave your dad alone.
Oh, you flip it on its head. Your dad didn't leave you. You leave him now.
Oh, yeah. You don't tell people, like, my dad left us. Just say, like, we left my dad.
Yeah.
He went out to get cigarettes, and we locked the door. We changed the locks, and he couldn't get back in.
He went out to get cigarettes, and we never came back.
And we moved. He came back, and we were gone.
He came back, we put the whole house on a big old truck, and he came back and the house wasn't there.
When he left, we put it up on Zillow, and it went in 2 seconds, because the housing market is fucking crazy.
Yeah, there was a whole family that moved in.
People are just buying all around the place. But we still, squatters' rights, we still live there.
Well, it was crazy, too, because, like, the house was sold, the new family moved in, but Dad was so absent that he didn't even notice for, like, 2 weeks. And then he was like, hey, a second. These aren't my kids.
Yeah. He just calls your name and no one answers, and he's like, wait. Oh, fuck, this isn't my chair. He's like sitting in another guy's lap.
It's like a Goldilocks situation. He's like, this chair doesn't feel right. Hold on a second.
And then that's why he left, because he got confused. But for what to say as the first thing, oh, man, like with how many years that the dad has been gone, you can like build up some real fucking Kino like phrases. I just realized that I used the word Kino in that phrase, and I've never actually used that before, and I don't really know what it means.
I was also wondering what it meant, but I didn't have the strength.
I didn't have the Kino to call you out on it.
How do you spell that?
Meaning grand cinematic, especially in regards to cinema or other cultural mediums.
If you spell it with a K, it's a game of chance, similar to Lotto, based on the drawing of numbers that must correspond with the selected numbers on the cards.
I think I wanted to say primo, and then the word Kino came out. Anyway.
But not their father, because he's not the best of us.
Maybe we could set up a little scenario where you get a camera. Yeah, this is what we're doing. Okay, we're doing it.
It's like To Catch a Predator, but it's To Catch an Absent Father.
To Catch a Daddy.
Oh!
We'll work on that title.
Yeah.
It's like Nathan Fielder's The Rehearsal, where you're planning for so long, and then you snare your dad, like figure out what bar he's going to over and over and over again. So then you buy out the entire bar, you flip it, you create that like tunnel scenario that he did in that, and then like you flip the bar, it's not what he thinks. Start turning your dad's whole fucking world upside down. So he goes in, everyone's not who's normally there. You start paying all these actors, you're in the background, see if he recognizes you, and then you start being that thing where it's like, I was in the background all along. You start showing him the footage. And then when he goes down that tunnel to the bar and you flip that, outside the bar that he started going into, you flip all that as well. You start bringing in a set. Obviously, you're going to have to invest quite a substantial amount of money in this. But then when he comes back out, his whole world is fucked. And then at the end, you can say, now you know what it feels like to have your world turned upside down. Boom, mic drop, dad shits himself. Everyone laughs, points, you pants him. Pull down his pants, make everyone point and laugh.
And then you end it with a second mic drop of like, you're like, goodbye, Michael. You don't even call him dad.
Oh.
And that's just one last, where he goes, oh, man.
You know what, Michael? When you left, I wasn't angry. I was just disappointed. And then you walk off and you like turn your back and you give him one of these.
And then you disappear. You slowly fade.
You throw down a smoke bomb. And it's the person's ashes from the first one. Oh, you guys really need to get together and figure this out. And then your dad's fucking inhaling daddy ashes. To be another dad that has been gone for too long is now inside a dad that left too early. God, that is Kino, because that's cinematic as fuck.
Oh my God. And then it cuts executive producer Dick Wolf.
Dun 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 dun. And then Chris Hansen's there and he just accuses your dad of grooming. For no reason.
I mean, I think we end that one there because there's no better scenario than that. We came full circle. That was...
Yeah. I have another one from Hunter Grisham. I love a good hunter. Shout out leakers. Hunter says, what would be the funniest felony to commit?
Tax fraud. This next one comes from Morgan. Thank you so much, Morgan. I really want to invent something life-changing. Do you have any ideas of what I could invent? There's no limit.
Oh, no.
The opportunities are endless.
Truly endless.
I think maybe branching off of the last question, a good invention, and it seems like there's quite a market for it, would be a dad detector. Okay? So it's kind of like a little GPS thing, but I think it would be kind of cool if it worked like one of those like radiation detectors where it's like a little click or a beep, and so you get closer to a dad, and then it just really starts going off.
Like a dad Geiger counter.
I think those would sell like hotcakes.
What about a daddy detector? To see who is daddy.
Ooh.
I kind of like that.
Wow. That's
It's like, you know how people are like, take out the gaydar. Like, use that. I want that for daddies. Who is daddy? I want to like use it on myself to figure out if I am, in fact, daddy.
If you really want to maximize profit, what you do is you build a time machine, okay? You go back in time because there's no limit, and you invent hotcakes before the person who invented hotcakes makes hotcakes, because they always talk about they're selling like hotcakes, which I feel like is the most profitable thing to ever exist.
I was like, what the fuck are hotcakes? Is this an Americanism that I don't know about, like moon pies or something? Like, I thought it was like an actual product, not just a hot cake. Have you ever had a hot cake? I've had hot buns.
Maybe like a chocolate lava cake. That's hot.
They're not hot, though.
Yeah, it is. It's warm.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. With like the chocolate sauce oozing.
Hotcakes are pancakes.
What?
Yeah, hotcakes. Nobody really calls them hotcakes.
Pancake and not at a cake?
Yeah, wait, hold on, you're right. It's not a cake. It's what is it?
I guess it has like a cake-like sponge to it, but cake is not the sponge. Cake is the amalgamation of everything. It's like, maybe because it's a stack of pancakes? It's a cake made on a pan, and there's a stack of them. And then you cover them in toppings. Honestly, the ingredients sound a lot like cake. It's like a bunch of layers of sponge, and then you have like fruit and like a syrup sauce. Pancake dressing, as I like to call it.
I think that cake is overrated. I don't really like cake all that much. It's too much for me. I like pie.
Yeah.
More of a pie kind of guy.
The Venn diagram of cake and pie is just a circle, and it's all pie. A pie chart, if you will. I'm not a great fan of cake. I think the novelty of cake is great, but then when it comes to cutting it and eating it, I'm like, this is making me full and sad.
The only kind of cake that I really like is carrot cake. I like carrot cake a lot.
Or cheesecake.
Here's the thing, it's not really a cake, is it? It's more of a pie.
You sound like Charlie Day suddenly. It's not really a cake.
What's the name of the person that he's trying to find? I can't remember.
Oh God, I don't know his name. He's like crazy with the drawings on the wall.
Yeah.
Carmen Sandiego. Yeah, fuck cake. I don't want any cake apologists here.
Pepe Sylvia.
Pepe Sylvia, that's it. Yeah, pie is much better. Key lime pie. I would much rather eat that than a fucking cake.
So maybe they should invent pie.
Or a pie applicator device to my mouth. You should invent something that cuts pie easy. Or cuts cakes easy. Instead of having to like use these fucking tiered cakes and you cut it down with a knife. And it's like, how do I get this slice out?
You know, I think, oh man, they should make like a 8-sided guillotine for pie. Where you just and it just tush.
8-sided guillotine for people.
Oh!
Let's start cranking these rookie numbers. One person at a time. What's going on, France? Start decapitating all of them, all at the same time.
This is true, and they have this long line. Who wants to wait in line? Nobody likes lines.
I mean, I guess everyone gets their time in the spotlight, and everyone gets to be like, what's your final words? Cake sucks.
What would be your final words?
Oh, that's a good one. My final words would be, you'll never find the bomb.
It's in your neck. So then when it just shoot, boosh.
My final words will be, you'll never take me alive. Oh, you could really go out with some like bangers. Like and subscribe.
Yeah. Send us your final words. What would your final words be?
Yeah. What's the funniest final words? I often think about that. What's the funniest thing you can have on your tombstone? It's like father, son, lover, thief.
What if I put like, now I'm rock hard forever?
Just 6 feet under and 6 inches hard. That's a good one. That's a good homework for next week.
Figure out what your final words are and what's on your tombstone.
And 8-sided guillotine.
So I guess that's our answer. Do you have any ideas of what I could invent? An 8-sided guillotine for cake and people.
Or 8-sided fleshlight for 8 dudes to stare at each other as they go at it.
God.
Yeah. Oh, you should invent a urinal at a toilet that has a fleshlight in it. So you can pee and fuck at the same time.
No, it's not a bad idea.
Yeah, or just make peeing more fun. Peeing and pooping in public need to be more fun.
You know, I saw this once at a urinal, and I was like, oh, that's kind of fun. They had these stickers of targets in the urinal, and I was like, that is so much fun.
It's not very inclusive, though.
No.
I'm talking about like an all-in-one solution where everyone has fun peeing. Like you pee through a thing in a toilet bowl that makes music. You know how like when you're driving down a highway and like some of the road things have like markings that make songs when you go so fast?
Yeah.
Or wind going through like certain mechanisms makes like music and sounds.
What if they had a built-in scale specifically for the toilet? So then it tells you how much your poop weighs.
And whoever wins gets free drinks at that bar.
Now that's good.
I know what you invent. And this is something that I actually want invented, is a toilet that when you poop or pee, it can analyze it. So that if you're deficient on nutrients, vitamins, if you have like colitis, IBS, you have some sort of disease, you have cancer, you have anything in between, anything that's detectable through poop or pee, I want a toilet that's able to detect those.
Why haven't we invented that? They have to ask for your stool samples for various things.
I
Just
know.
build it into the toilet.
It's like, oh, you have polyps, or oh, you are not getting enough fiber. Like, it's just, oh, the uses are endless.
And then you have a built-in fax machine, so it'll automatically send it to your doctor.
Yeah, exactly. And you get like a readout of it every time. There's like a screen on the back of it. Why don't we have smart toilets with like screens on them?
You've got to invent them, Morgan. You've got to invent them.
Invent it. And I will buy it. I'll buy 5 for my house. Backups.
Well, this was another very exciting episode.
I feel leaked.
I feel depleted.
You know when you have a cow and you need to like milk them every now and then, or else their others will swell up and burst and kill everyone in a 10-mile radius? Mm-hmm. It's like that. We have built up stuff in our brains that we just need to like milk that leaky teat.
That's true. You are extremely correct. I feel
and smart
satiated and smart and funny and humble.
And we're both so handsome. And
so
awesome.
handsome. Tell us how handsome we are. If you have advice that you want, you can send it to questions@brainleakpod.com.
Yeah, and it has to be bad advice. Don't ask us like, hey, how do I pass my exams? You could ask that. We'll give a funny answer, but give us the good shit.
You could ask that and we probably won't answer.
Yeah. Those are the ones we skip. We skipped you.
Yeah, how does it feel? Huh? How does it feel? Well, thank you guys so much for listening. Hope you enjoyed your time. If you're driving in a car, hope you got to your destination all right. If you're falling asleep to our sweet, slender voices, wake up! You're late!
You pissed the bed!
Oh, shit!
That's my way of saying stay leaky.
Damn, dude. Stay leaky, leakers.
Stay leaky, dude.